thank you all for joining us live for another that's not the word I was looking for, another episode of Behind the Counter. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're live on Instagram and on the HB Pharmacy page, and we're going to talk about aromatherapy. So those of you who have not met Brianna before, especially if you're looking online, I'm sure if you have been here at the pharmacy, you've seen her lovely face before, but Brianna has been working here at the pharmacy for
about 2 years.
2 years now? 2 years
yeah,
now?
About that.
And she is currently a student at Montclair State studying bio, right?
Yes, I am.
And she is a future physician assistant.
Yes, I am.
So that's a little bit about Brianna. And now Brianna kind of brought us a lot of the essential oil stuff we've been doing at the pharmacy recently. And I'm not going to lie, I have been personally a skeptic about essential oils for a long time. But I've recently been converted. So Brianna today is here to talk to us a little bit about essential oils, what's legitimate, how to kind of add that and incorporate that into a healthy lifestyle, and how it kind of goes along with other stuff we do at the pharmacy here, obviously, which includes medication, nutrition, all of that good stuff. So, Brianna, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me on Behind the Counter. It's
And
an
apologies for adding to your stress levels with the technical difficulties.
Yes, and
but
I'm
we
gonna
have some aromatherapy stuff
Yeah,
here.
I'm going to apply some stress-based aromatherapy for that one. All right. Hey, everyone.
So, let's start with this.
Yes.
There are legitimate medicinal strategies to help those in need of assistance.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So how does aromatherapy work? How is it legitimate? And why would aromatherapy be helpful to me? Not just me, but the general me.
General population?
General me.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think that is a very legitimate question, because I feel that aromatherapy, well, if we define it, right? So aromatherapy, for those that don't know, right, is a pseudoscience, right? And it essentially uses natural aromatic materials in a way to provide a better physiological and physical well-being, right? So from your standpoint, or even just working in a pharmacy, right, we come in contact with medication every day, right? Legitimate solutions to any issues that someone might be having. Aromatherapy, however, is more of, I would think, a natural it's like a natural practice to try to combat some issues that some people might be having. So it's honestly just a really great way to exercise better physical and emotional health. And aromatherapy, I feel like a lot of us either are just aware of it, or maybe some of you are already implementing it or practicing it without even knowing. But I genuinely have benefited from it. I have other people who have benefited from it, and also...
Can you expand that? What do you mean practicing it without even knowing? What does that mean?
Meaning, like, if you say someone uses like a diffuser, right, or if you have a business or something and you have certain scents, I'm speaking mainly on diffusers, or even like a wax melt, something like that, right? Those are aromatherapy products that add to the ambiance of maybe someone's business or even in their household, and that is practicing aromatherapy, right? If someone is lighting some lavender in a store, or a certain candle, right? It's sending an ambiance in that sense.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And for Mary Lou's question, I think we had replied to you about that a few times in some previous comments. If you want to give us a call at the pharmacy, we can discuss that further. The pharmacy number is 201-997-2010, but I believe we replied to your questions about that a few times in the comments on the other stuff. But give us a call and we can talk further. Any other questions as we go, feel free to chime them out as well.
Yes.
My story about, and Doreen's saying lavender is great for anxiety, and actually to that point, Doreen, the first time I stopped being skeptical about aromatherapy as a kind of like an adjunct to a wellness practice,
kind of
if you
routine,
will, or your lifestyle or whatever,
right.
My dad and I were visiting a physician around here who we work with for the compounding pharmacy and that kind of stuff. And him and I were arguing. I don't even remember what we were arguing about, but let me rephrase. I was yelling at him. I forget, and he was irritated at me. I forget what we were irritated about, but we went into this physician's office, and she had all of these essential oils going. It's Dr. Boyle, who's in Clifton.
Right.
And I didn't even realize this, but by the time we left the office, I'm like, we were walking out arm in arm and whatever, just like in such a better mood. And as we were talking, we were like, holy crap, this is entirely because of the essential. It was, I don't even know what she had. I don't know if it was lavender, like Doreen mentioned, or if it was, I don't even know what it was, but it completely changed my mood. And that one experience completely changed my perception of aromatherapy too.
Yep.
And I'm very ornery, so
it's... You're very skeptical. Exactly. And I honestly, I that doesn't shock me. I think that it has many benefits. Okay, let me get into more answering your question, right? So let's talk about the logistics, right?
Sure.
How exactly does aromatherapy work? So it works in a sense that it stimulates kind of the scent receptors in your nose, right? So I'm a bio major, so just bear with me. I'm going to get a little sciencey, but I'll help and I'll try to make it
Nothing wrong
make
with
sense,
that.
right? So in your body, you have your olfactory system. And what that is kind of just it's a part of your brain or a system in your brain that is connected to your sense of smell, right? So essentially, if you pick up a bottle of essential oil or a lavender product or something like that, when you smell it, what exactly is happening is that as you're smelling it, the olfactory system, right, that scent system in your brain is kind of sending chemical messages throughout your nervous system and thus to your limbic system. Your
Okay.
limbic system is kind of that part of your brain that controls a lot of stuff, right? Your emotions, it controls your heart rate, your blood pressure, and it basically, the hormonal balance as well, it's responsible for a lot of stuff. So you could thank your limbic system for a lot of the emotions and the kind of more internal emotional well-being that you're having, you
Okay.
know?
Does it also control that thing where you're at a party and people hold a wooden bar out and you kind of got to drop down and go underneath it?
Oh no,
It's,
not the limbo
oh,
system. This
okay.
is the limbic
My
system.
bad. Okay.
It's not as fun as that. I wish it was.
Okay,
Um,
but interesting, interesting. So
yeah.
that's where the legitimacy comes in. It's essentially chemical messages telling your body,
Yes.
triggering your body to react in different ways,
Exactly.
essentially.
So like for a specific example, right? So that lavender, it's gonna when you smell it or when you smell a certain product or for instance, I have a bath bomb here. It's sage, really good. If I sniff it, right,
I can already smell it, yeah.
it smells really good. If I sniff it, right, it's going to send a message to my brain. So in the case of lavender, that smell, it's going to release chemicals within your body that's going to help you kind of unwind and settle down. So a lot of like nighttime products or even just relaxation products are centered around lavender in that sense because it does that to your body. It allows that kind of relief in a sense.
Your sister liked my limbo system joke. That's
Limbo
much
system.
appreciated. So, okay, so we
Thanks.
talked about some of the legitimate stuff and some of the more scientific stuff. What are
Right.
some caveats you would say with aromatherapy?
So it's not, aromatherapy is holistically used, right? So it's not an exact medical solution, right? So it's not a completely effective practice, but it could be thought to be a more traditional or alternative or even a complementary therapy, I should say, to the medications that you're currently taking, right? So it overall is really good at improving your mood and your overall emotional well-being is kind of what I'm going to stick to because obviously working in a pharmacy, there's actual medications to help with XYZ condition that someone might have. But aromatherapy, sorry, can just add on in a sense that it's going to kind of just complement someone's current routine. If
Yeah, I
that
think
makes
that's a good
sense.
way to put it. Obviously, like you started with, it's a pseudoscience,
Right.
but it's a good complementary therapy. And depending on
Exactly.
what's going on, it can certainly provide some benefits and can certainly help. If you're
Exactly.
in some more extreme situations, it's not always going to work for everyone in all situations. That's usually why we recommend coming to talk to one of our pharmacists
Yes.
because there's a lot of different things. There's medication, there's aromatherapy, there's other natural products. So
Right.
it's kind of part of that package and kind of depending on the severity. Stress, for example, it's
Right.
not going to be replacing, say, a therapist, or if you have an extreme stressor,
Right.
ultimately, that situation, if
Yeah.
it's too extreme, maybe this isn't going to completely, help in that sense. But it's
Right.
great, especially on, for some of the minor things, some of the relaxation kind of things. I think that's where I would fit it as part of the
Exactly.
complete wellness package, if
Yeah.
you will.
And even piggybacking off of that, we can say even like someone who takes medication, say for like a pain relief kind of situation,
Sure.
right? There's CBD oil, there's roll ons, more topical solutions as well, and there's soaks and salves. We actually have one here, it's a muscle salve, right? So there's holistic or more natural alternatives for someone who maybe doesn't want to be taking such strenuous medications, right?
Okay, fair enough. Now, you did mention, obviously it's triggering chemicals in our body, and you said the word chemical. Is there anything safety wise that we need to consider with these sorts of products?
Yes. So, with all this in mind, right, the fact that it's a natural alternative to more permanent solutions, right, to more medicinal solutions, it's important to be aware that essential oils are still chemicals, right? So they are to be treated as such because they are chemicals in that fashion, right? So to practice, and if you're looking to practice aromatherapy, or even if you currently are practicing aromatherapy, I highly advise to gain some advice from a trained professional or even from your medical advisors when practicing aromatherapy.
Okay. What about things like, we see some of the concentrated oils over there. Is that okay to just, take a couple drops and put it on your skin, or
So
is that super concentrated?
it
Or
is it's extremely concentrated. So that's one thing about essential
so like it's
oils.
studying very hard in school, or
No,
no?
it's
Oh, okay.
concentrated in the sense that it's very potent. This guy got jokes today. It's very potent in the sense that it's very effective, but it's also extremely dangerous when you apply essential oils to your skin, right? So you never want to apply essential oils to your skin, and be sure to check for any allergies as well, right? It works like any other product or lotion that you're applying onto your body, right? Also, never ingest essential oils. I feel like that might go without saying, but it needs to be said, right? So never
Sure.
ingest essential oils, right? So they can damage the liver, and they can also provide a lot of kidney issues, right? So aromatherapy is an external practice only, and I want to make sure that I emphasize that because, not a lot of people, some people might not be aware of it, and that's perfectly normal. And that's why I'm just going to serve as kind of like a voice of reason to say,
Sure.
please don't drink your
As
lavender
good as it
oil.
smells, don't eat
Don't
it.
drink it.
Got
Yeah.
it. Or drink it. Sure.
Don't snack.
And to Doreen's comment here on Facebook too many side effects from medication, which is why she uses lavender oil or
Exactly.
lotion. Yeah, totally agree with that. The medication in general is going to. All right, let me back it up and say it this way. There are pros and cons to everything.
Exactly.
Right? Certainly for medication, pro side it's going to be a lot stronger and all of those kinds of things. But con side, yes, there are definitely some stronger side effects. Whereas maybe something more natural, probably not going to be as potent, but you're not going to really deal with
Right.
some of those side effects.
Exactly.
So totally agree. That's a great point from Doreen. And Doreen actually asked another question as well. What about CBD for pain? CBD works in a little bit of a different way. Similar, but in many ways, but different system in your body. So it's highly effective for pain. It's not going to be necessarily the same kind of chemical triggers per se.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're using it for. Obviously, in this case for pain, it's hitting your pain receptors specifically differently. But topical CBD is something we recommend all the time for pain. I would say probably even over some of the other topical products that are out there. We personally have seen a ton of success in our patients, and I've actually taken it personally too for topical use for pain. So it's absolutely great for that.
Right.
And even in those topical CBD products, like we weren't really talking about CBD today, but this muscle salve from Dolly Moo, aches, pain, strains. So this has arnica oil,
camphor
shea
as well.
butter, beeswax, wintergreen, camphor essential oil. So actually eucalyptus, a lot of the stuff that's in here you would find in a CBD product as well. They just have the additional ingredient of the CBD on top of it too, which adds some definite relief. So I would say for specific pain relief, the CBD products would be a step above this.
Yes.
But this is an excellent choice as well too. So do you want to, actually that kind of is a good transition for us. Do you want to go into some of these specific products? I know you grabbed a
Yeah.
couple of these here.
Yeah, I
And
did.
even, people were mentioning lavender for stress. That's a good one. Let's start with there. So lavender is obviously a good scent for
Yes.
stress.
So lavender and sage, I would say, are the main scents that refer to more of a calming benefit, I would say.
Okay.
So something that I would suggest, definitely if you're looking for those that have anxiety or even those that have trouble like winding down at night, I would suggest something that has lavender, right? Whether you're taking a bath or whether you're taking a shower, we have products specifically in the store that I particularly like the brand that we're using. They're local to Montclair. They're called Dolly Moo. So those are the products I'm going to be showing today. And they are available in the store in case you guys are interested in picking some up. So we have this right here. This is called a shower steamer. So for those of you that aren't bath peoples,
Bath versus
bath
peoples,
peoples,
yes.
I lost my train of thought there. So this is basically, think of it as a bath bomb for your shower, right? So when you put it on the floor, the steam of the shower will kind of trigger the bath bomb, the shower bomb, to be set off in a sense, right? So it releases a lot of lavender essential oils, and it provides a super calming and kind of soothing meditative environment, I should
Cool.
say, kind of aroma. We also have a lavender salve. I don't have it here, but it goes on topically as well. So even like my mother, like I got her on that as well. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
she
used
mentioned,
lavender
there you
product.
go, that she used the lavender
Yeah.
product. All
So
right.
we apply that to our temples underneath our nose, and it honestly throughout my day. I mean, I'm a junior in college, and I'm pretty stressed out all the time. Anyone can
I've
vouch for that.
noticed.
Yeah, he can even vouch for that. Trust me. I stress a lot. So using that lavender salve has really helped implement kind of a more self-care kind
Sure.
of ambiance, even like lighting a candle in my room that's lavender
Sure.
scented,
Sure.
or even the lavender. I've used this a bunch. This I'm on like my fifth from this store, so it really is beneficial in that sense. Also sage, we also have a bath bomb for you to use as well if you're a bath type of person.
I
So
will add to that too. Brianna actually is the one who introduced us here at the pharmacy to the Dolly Moo brand and
yeah,
all their products as a whole. And I've gone by and checked out their shop as we were trying to add other New Jersey businesses, and it's so cool.
it
It's got
is.
such a cool little
Yes.
location. Really great story. Two sisters who started the company together as well, and they're getting, some pretty big success, it looks
Yeah.
like. And honestly, in the pharmacy, their products smell amazing. So it's
Yes.
thank you for introducing them
And
to us here. They've been
they're
great, and they really care about quality handmade stuff, which is
yeah.
always cool to see too. So
I'm always in there whenever I'm in Montclair. They're just such a friendly staff, and even their products. The amount of times people walk through and are like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Over there, right over there, all of that. That's responsible." So it really does work, guys. Okay, just so we're not dwelling on just anxiety, because there's other emotions that we feel, right? Let's talk about kind of a more uplifting sense, right?
okay.
So I would say citrus and more orangey flavors. I would say in general, thyme is not citrusy, but thyme and any
Time after time.
time. Okay,
Sorry,
so if you're lost, then you look for
essential oil.
an essential oil that provides an
go. I
energizing.
knew there was something in there. We just had to find it. We just had to find it.
If you're looking for something that provides more of an uplifting mood, I would definitely suggest anything that's a citrus scent, right? So lemon, orange, grapefruit, even thyme, right? So anything that's kind of woodsy or even citrusy, right, can offer, even cloves, right? Something that's very spicy. That helps to kind of invigorate you and keep you kind of uplifted and kind of energized in a sense,
Sure.
right?
What I found interesting about that too is bergamot is a supplement that we recommend for cholesterol and for your heart health and that kind of stuff in general. So I was interested to see it in the scent domain as well when you were kind of putting all this together. It was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Just a comment.
Comment, right? So again, so aromatherapy will work in the sense that if you're using lavender, and then on the other spectrum, if you're using something that's more citrusy, right, it's gonna help to kind of enhance those emotions, right? It's gonna provoke a more sleepy or more calm state if you're using lavender or sage. But on the other hand, if you're using something that's like citrusy or bergamot or thyme, sorry, time after time, you're going to get more of your body's going to feel a lot more invigorated, and overall you're going to feel a lot more energized and happy, right?
Absolutely. And for the other comment about feeling more relaxed just by listening to the description, yeah, they're awesome products. We have them here at HB Pharmacy in North Arlington, 98 Ridge Road.
Hi, Jara.
And also, we have them on our website too. So if you go to gasparsbest.com, I'll type it in the comments, but it's GASPARS. Oops, that is a lot of pluses.
Oh, it's because
My phone is on the keyboard. Yep, there we go. Fix that
Alright.
real quick. Move that there.
Hold that.
It's gasparsbest.com, GASPARS best.com. You can find all of these products online
Yes.
there too, just in case you're interested and want to check them out. As
And-
now I block everyone on Instagram. Hope you like my hands, and if not, sorry.
All right.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And then if for those of you that want to come and stop in, we do have them in our storefront as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you had some others for congestion and that kind of stuff, which I
Yes.
thought was interesting
So-
as well.
A lot of people are suffering from a lot of allergies right now, right? My family included, right? Really big family, really heavy allergies in this family. So, oftentimes we're always reaching for an allergy medication or just for something to relieve our congestion, right? So, something that is extremely good that I personally use is also another shower steamer in the Breathe Easy scent from Dolly Moo. So that's essentially going to have like wintergreen, spearmint, eucalyptus. So a lot of strong minty scents that help to also invigorate the mind, right? I would say a lot of wintergreen and spearmint helps with focus as well as relief in the sinus area because it helps to invigorate your brain area.
Okay.
Right? So for nasal congestion, I would suggest a product that we have here. So this is a salve.
Tati's fave, apparently.
Yeah, Tati's fave. It is because she has a lot of allergies. Hi, Tati. So this is essentially, if you want to think about it, it's more of a natural Vicks vapor rub is how I like to describe
Yeah, that's
it.
a really cool way to describe it. I like that.
So it's really good, and it has the essential oils built in there. So it's going to be eucalyptus, also vitamin E, so it's going to help to protect your nose if you guys are blowing your nose a lot and have a lot of chapped nose areas.
Okay.
Chapped nose areas. Peppermint, eucalyptus, and grapeseed oil, right? So
cool.
All really nourishing, and the eucalyptus and that wintergreen, that spearmint, it's really going to help with nasal congestion, right? So it's going to help with any sinus irritation that we're experiencing with this with the spring season coming up.
Yeah, and to the point that Doreen made earlier in the comments about side effects of medication and that kind of stuff. Not that Vicks per se has any side effects, but it's always good using a natural solution to some of these kinds of things. So that was really compelling to me when I heard you describe it that way of a natural Vicks. I thought that was really cool. That was interesting for sure.
It's always good to, even in what you eat, right? In general, like just finding kind of healthier or more natural alternatives just to put into your body, right? It's always a good thing to look for more.
Absolutely. Are there any other kind of last thoughts you have or any other questions from the audience here as we wrap it up? Thank you guys for being engaging today. Doreen actually did ask for migraines.
For migraine relief, again, I'm going to head to the idea of anything that's minty is really going to be really helpful for you. So if you have like a peppermint oil or a eucalyptus oil, I think eucalyptus really is the one that I would suggest the most for you. So that's what I'm going to stick with. Eucalyptus is really invigorating in relieving headaches and with sinus pressure, right? I'm not sure if your migraines are more chronic or if it is because of more of a sinus issue going on with the pollen outside. But I would definitely suggest trying more of a eucalyptus, eucalyptus or peppermint. More of a minty essential oil is going to be really helpful for you, I believe.
Interesting. Yeah, and to Brianna's point too, it's definitely important to kind of get to the root cause of what's causing the issue. So migraines are no different when it comes to that. If it's sinus related, that kind of stuff, obviously things that'll help clear the sinus will help with that. If it's deeper and other things, there are some other things, we can talk about. We can always get the pharmacist involved too if you're interested in that kind of stuff. CBD is something that we have. It's been hit and miss in the migraine department. We've definitely seen it help, and we've seen it not really do much of anything. Some of the topical CBDs, especially when combined with some of the other essential oils that we've mentioned before. So I've seen people who have said, holy crap, this stuff really works. It helps. And I've seen people who it doesn't help. It's a trial and error thing. These are safe products, so it's definitely worth a try, I'd say. And there's, a little bit of troubleshooting involved when it comes to those kinds of things. There are some other oral supplements that help with migraines too. I wouldn't say there's a ton of strong efficacy for them necessarily. Right. It's hit and miss with some of those things. It depends on what's causing them. So, Doreen, if you want to talk about that further, definitely give us a call. And James is our main pharmacist involved with some of that kind of stuff, and he can absolutely help you troubleshoot and talk through some of those things too.
And I noticed that Doreen also mentioned that she has no allergies. Something else that you can do, we also have an Epsom salt that uses the same kind of formula, the Breathe Easy formula.
I
and
forgot about that.
Right, and it's honestly a really good product. So how it works is a normal facial steam, right? So it's essentially an Epsom salt that when you put it into some hot water, if you put a towel over your head, right, and just absorb that, it's going to really help with headaches. I've tried it myself, and it's helped with my headaches, and it helps with sinus in general as well.
That Epsom salt that they have from Dolly Moo is also like the cutest looking Epsom salt of all
it's time. Like in a little mason jar.
Like a little mason jar, a little shovel scoop kind of thing too. So we didn't bring that here, but that could be another possible option as well.
Yes.
But thank you guys for such an engaging video. Much appreciated. I know that had everything to do with Brianna and nothing to do with me, so much appreciated. Thank you on that front, and thank you for joining us.
Is there anything
you would like to kind of sign off with here?
More in the sense, I would say thank you for having me, first of all. It's obviously a privilege to be on Behind the Counter. I love watching the show, right? I've been here for a couple years now. So, yes, for those of you that, want to try out kind of a more natural alternative, or even if you've been already trying aromatherapy, I do think that it's very beneficial, and just the research and the stuff that I've looked up on it and I've been learning about, I've tried implementing it even into my daily routine, and I've noticed that it does make a difference on top of obviously the other routines that I have to maintain my stress and whatnot. Um, but I definitely think it's worth a shot, and I fully support it. And I think it's I don't know, it's just something that's really exciting to get into and just to try to see if it works for you. I think it would really be beneficial.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, like I was saying before, and like you just said right then, it's definitely worth a shot, especially on the natural side of
Yeah.
things. Is it always going to be the perfect thing that helps in every scenario?
Right.
No. But, what's the harm in giving it a try? Maybe it'll help a
Exactly.
little bit.
Exactly.
So, absolutely, totally agree with that. Thank you guys all for all the comments, and thank you guys all for joining. And thank you, most importantly,
Thank
for
you.
joining. Really
Thank
great
you.
job, Brianna. Much
Thank you.
appreciated. And we will see you on the next one, if I can
Alrighty.
figure out how to end the
How
video,
to end
obviously.
this?
Bye,
All right. Have a
everyone.
great day, everyone.